A very good morning to you. It's a Thursday. Whew, the weekend is almost here. What a relief that one is. But on this Thursday, updates coming through. The National Resistance Movement has called its MPs and allied independents to State House Entebbe on Sunday to endorse its candidates for Speaker and Deputy Speaker ahead of Monday's elections. And more of the updates looking at, of course, matters Ebola, but away from Uganda. One American has tested positive of Ebola bundibujo virus and has been flown to the International Center for Virus Research in Germany. And speaking at a media briefing in Washington, the director for the American Center for Disease Control, Deborah, said 9 Americans from Uganda, DRC and South Sudan who had spent 21 days in their respective countries have been restricted entry to the United States. However, she was quick to report that no Ebola bundibujo virus cases have been reported in the United States of America. And while in Uganda, the U.S. Embassy through the U.S. Department of State has mobilized an initial $23 million in bilateral foreign assistance to immediately bolster Ebola response, supporting surveillance laboratory capacity, risk communication, safe burials, entry and exit screening, as well as clinical case management. My name is Julie S. Nantaba on UBC TV, coming to you live from the Nile Avenue. This is Good Morning Uganda, and as always, I'm with my partner in the best crime ever. That is Robert Chirabo Nyonyintono. Robert, good morning.
Lovely morning to you, Julie, and of course our viewer. Thank you very much for waking up with us this Thursday. Julie seems excited about the weekend.
I always am. I always am, because the week is always long.
Now there's what we call school fees week.
Yep, that is so true. For every parent, I know that when it's holiday, the tension is, it rises the moment the holiday clocks.
And next week is returning.
It's back. Returning, yes.
Is returning to school. Now, I don't know how many parents are very excited. But of course, there are also parents that are excited because the children are going to be away and their schedules are going to go back to a normal. You know, sometimes when kids are home, one has to come back early despite having a maid. Have some time with the kids because it's holiday. Cut short some of the programs to be home. So some parents, when children start school, and they know they're taking them, and they know they're taking them to boarding schools, home is to themselves. That's where you see someone returning after watching all the matches. That's where you see, you know, and some just feel the free space,
right,
to better connect.
True. Speaking of matches, Robert, I wonder where you were yesterday, but Kampala CBD was quite ablaze with Arsenal fans in the streets, doing all sorts of celebrations, very funny ones. Some of them are trending on social media already. But I must say that with what I saw yesterday in town within the Central Business District, it was crazy. I saw a group of lads who are crossing through, must have been either Chikubo or those kids Nabukeda, those corridors. And one had carried a goat on his back, but he was putting on an Arsenal jersey with the goat dressed in the Arsenal jersey, and he was carrying it, and of course he was sending the message, greatest of all time.
Well, I was more following the swearing in of Lord Mayor Engineer Balimwezo.
Very eventful that one is.
And Elias Lukwago, after 15 years, bowing out of KCCA and Kampala. The leadership saying have served and it's time to go. Of course, he never wanted, because he contested, if he had been entrusted with the trust from Ugandans, but I loved that transition. I loved his look, his stature. He was saying yes. They are the instruments of power. I loved what I saw. But Engineer Balimwezo now faces a big challenge, because you have about 34 councillors from the 5 divisions of Kampala at KCCA with whom you're supposed to run a business. But 95% of these are National Unity Platform. Just imagine if Parliament, majority of 95% of members of Parliament are NUP. What that would mean to the leadership at the top. Now, Engineer Balimwezo is NUP.
True story.
He has 95% nope.
Nope.
What does that mean? He's going to have a smooth sail. He's going to have a smooth sail.
I hope, though, that the team he's working with will be able to help him achieve the vision as a leader. Because you take note that he's, as much as he's noob for noob, but when it comes to service and service delivery and his statements, it's for everybody. Now, some of these councillors sometimes tend to veer off the point of service and want to stay party aligned in every single thing. Yeah,
that is also there.
So, and I see that it might be a bit of a challenge.
But so I'm also excited to see, you know, there's been a problem in Kampala during Elias Lukwago's tenure, where there has been always clashes between the technical team and the political wing.
Yes.
He has been clashing with almost Jennifer Musisi, if this time a minister. He has been full of clashes. If you remember one time when Honorable Frank Remembers was there, I think he was also impeached Lukwago. So there has been that clash. Now I want to understand, are we going to see the same with Engineer Balimwezo? Then will that problem be the law of Kampala Capital City Authority, or we shall know that it has been an individual character playing smart politics of sympathy, not to deliver much for the people of Kampala?
Right.
That's what I'm waiting to see.
All of that indeed will be exposed as it is. Time tells everything, and we'll definitely be seeing the fruit of it. But Robert, what do we have on the local scene this morning?
Well, President Museveni yesterday hosted former South African President Jacob Zuma at State Lodge Nakasero for talks aimed at strengthening business and investment cooperation between Uganda and South Africa. The team brought together officials and investors who explored opportunities in the energy generation, power transmission, irrigation and mineral value addition. President Museveni welcomed the delegation and reiterated government's commitment to supporting investment that boost manufacturing and agro production. He emphasized the importance of affordable electricity in driving industrial growth, saying government remains focused on keeping power costs low to support factories and attract investors. Museveni also highlighted railway transport and affordable financing as key priorities needed to strengthen production and grow the economy. Officials from the Ministry of Energy are expected to continue engagements with the South African delegation on possible areas of cooperation in the energy sector.
You know, every time I see His Excellency Zuma, I remember in the beginning,
After 15 years under former Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago, Kampala ushered in a new political leadership with the swearing-in of Engineer Ronald Balimwezo Nsubuga and 34 councillors representing the 5 divisions of the city. The ceremony was attended strictly by invited guests as officials enforced Ebola disease prevention guidelines throughout the event. Lord Mayor-elect Ronald Balimwezo received the instruments of power, officially assuming office. The new council is largely dominated by members of the National Unity Platform, who make up about 95% of the councillors. Balimwezo, who has risen through various leadership ranks, expressed gratitude to the supporters and pledged to serve the people of Kampala faithfully, fight corruption, and support effective planning and service delivery in the city. Several councillors also outlined their priorities for the first 100 days in office, focusing on issues affecting their representative areas and others. Key among the challenges highlighted were unemployment among the youth due to limited employable skills, rapid urbanization, and budget constraints affecting service delivery in the capital. The Uganda National Bureau of Standards, established under the UNBS Act Cap 210, is mandated to provide standardization, quality assurance, and testing services, as well as enforce the ways and measures law enacted in 1985. Several sectors, including academia, hospitals, schools, and policy-making institutions, rely on metrology in their day-to-day operation for accurate measurements, data collection and evidence-based decision-making. Speaking at the event, the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, Lynette Bagonza, emphasized the need to review the existing law to ensure accuracy and conformity with international standards. The Executive Director of the Uganda National Bureau of Standards, James Kasigwa, noted that Uganda's economic growth depends on accurate measurements and informed policy decisions backing up credible evidence. Kasigwa added that strengthening metrology systems will also support the fight against corruption in both public and private sector through proper accountability and accurate systems. The chairperson of the National Standards Council, Dennis Ainebiona, called for continuous evolution of standard systems to respond to the changing needs of the economy. Stakeholders at the event committed to strengthening trust in policy making through improved reference standards, accurate data and evidence-based systems. And that brings us to the end of our local stories this morning. Let's see what Julie collected for us on the international scene.
Right, thank you very much, Robert. And we're starting off with matters US and Cuba. The US has charged former Cuban leader Raul Castro with conspiracy to kill US nationals and other crimes over the 1996 downing of 2 planes between Cuba and Florida. The case, unveiled on Wednesday, accuses Castro of 5 others in the shooting down of the aircraft belonging to Cuban-American group Brothers to the rescue and killing 4 people, including 3 Americans. Castro, who's now 94 years, was then head of the country's armed forces and faced international condemnation over the crash. As the U.S. seeks to exert increasing pressure on Cuba's communist rule, President Miguel Diaz-Canel called the charges a political maneuver devoid of any legal foundation. Speaking at Freedom Tower in Miami, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche announced that the U.S. would also charge Castro with destruction of aircraft and 4 individual counts of murder over the deaths of Armando Alejandre Jr., Carlos Alberto Costa, Mario Manuel de la Pina and Pablo Morales. The United States and President Trump does not and will not forget its citizens, Blanche said. The charges must be argued in a U.S. court, with some carrying the possibility of life terms. The murder charges each carry a maximum penalty of death or life imprisonment. Now, Chinese leader Xi Jinping held ties with Russia as a force for calm amid chaos during a meeting with Vladimir Putin in Beijing on Wednesday. Politicians. Anyways, during a meeting with this was during a meeting on Wednesday with Vladimir Putin, and this was days after Xi Jinping hosted President Donald Trump for a landmark US-China summit. Now, Xi alluded to an increasingly fractious international situation and took a veiled jab at the U.S. as he sat down with Putin in the Great Hall of the People for meetings, kicking off the Russian leader's roughly 24-hour state visit in the Chinese capital. The international situation is marked by intertwined turbulence and transformation, while unilateral hegemonic currents are running rampant, Xi said, using Beijing's typical language to criticize what it sees as American foreign policy overreach. In the face of this, China and Russia should enhance their comprehensive strategic coordination, Xi said, according to Chinese state media. For Xi, hosting leaders of both the US and Russia, 2 nations marred in conflict, in the space of a few days is a boon, as he aims to cement China's reputation as a global power broker. But while both leaders received a red carpet welcome, Putin's visit was marked by a more outward display of the friendship between the 2 leaders and their countries. Anyways, moving on to matters Africa. The World Health Organization says it could take up to 9 months before a vaccine against this particular species of Ebola is ready. 2 possible candidate vaccines against the Bundibujo species are being developed, but neither had gone through clinical trials yet. WHO advisor Dr. Vasi Morthy said on Wednesday. WHO Chief Dr. Tedros Adhanom said there have been 600 suspected cases of Ebola and 139 suspected deaths, but numbers are expected to rise given the time taken to detect the virus. Speaking to journalists in Geneva, he said 51 cases have been confirmed in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the first case was reported, and 2 in neighboring Uganda. On Sunday, the World Health Organization declared a public health emergency of international concern, but said it was not a pandemic yet. Tedros said that after meeting on Tuesday, the health organization's emergency committee agreed the situation was not a pandemic emergency. Well, that brings us to the end of what we have on the foreign scene. It's that time we take a look at what the dailies have this morning. Robert.
Well, looking at the dailies, we begin with a new vision among probe. Sacks in EC and judiciary. May extend that far to the Electoral Commission and the judiciary. Now, Court Chameleon and Daniela will agree to separate. And new Lord Mayor promises to fight corruption. That is Engineer Ronald Valimwezo. Now, more luxurious vehicles of former speaker seized. But I'm asking myself, Judy,
when we look at the Mabati saga, when we look at the case where the Human Rights Commission boss exposed MPs that were arrested at that, it was not that deep.
But I'm also
this time around, it's that deep.
But I'm also asking myself, yes, you can have passion for something, have passion for bikes, and if I had money, I would buy quite like 2 or 3. But all these cars, so far about 6?
Yeah, 6.
And all of them are very expensive.
Luxurious, yes.
Luxurious. I mean, how many? Then you have official cars given to you by government. When would you even get time to sit in these cars? Because if you are looked at, projected, you've been a deputy speaker, you want to go 10 years as a speaker, when are you going to sit? When you are amassing all these things, where are you taking them? Well, I have to move on to the Daily Monitor because some questions I had to answer, but when you get there, that's when you know. They say sometimes when you don't have, there are things you can say, I can't eat a meal of this amount of money. But when you get there, you never leave those places where that meal is being sold.
Well, they say it's character, and as it is, one of the highlights with this case, this particular events as they unfold, is the fact that as all of us are pointing fingers like this, these 3 are pointing back at us. As an individual, you also know that many corrupt incidents you've been engaged in. So be slow while you're pointing that finger.
Judy, very interesting then. For all have sinned and fallen short of God's glory. Maybe many would even do worse in case they had the same opportunity. And
many have not been caught.
Well, but we're happy. This is a step in the right direction, and we want to thank government. Now we move to the Daily Monitor. The Grand Master. I don't know what this cartoon is referring to. I don't want to go into the details of that. Now, Parliament staff face arrest as more among cars are taken. And that is that so far from the Daily Monitor. Also, we have donors allocate 130 billion for Ebola response. There comes money. We must respond quickly and fast, that this doesn't become a pandemic. Now, how crypto ban created 4 trillion illegal market. Well, those and more when you get yourself a copy of the New Vision or Daily Monitor.
All right, looking at the rest of East Africa, we're looking at the Daily Nation on there, and the headline is how state can lower fuel prices. As we've been seeing the stories, indeed that show Kenya is way worse than the rest of East Africa. But the headline, fuel our demands. That is the headline. And the ultimatum, the 7-day countdown is on. But state officials are waiting President Ruto's return to start key talks. Must the president be present for talks? Should work be halted? Can't it move on?
It depends. A father in the home may not eat supper before he returns. But in some homes, you can eat.
I know, but this is business. It's money.
I'm just giving an example. There are homes. However angry the children are feeling, you don't eat supper before dad is back. You don't go to bed. You have to sit on the table.
I guess now the politics and the leadership part of it loses meaning when it comes to national matters. But anyways, not that I understand much. Let me move on to more of the stories in the Daily Nation. Why petitioners want Adan out of top KRA job, and Arsenal fans in a frenzy after title drought ends 22 years. Yo,
Sunday.
Yes.
You've seen nothing, unseen a thing. Wait for Sunday. We are coming.
True story. And that brings us to the end of what we have on the scene of updates this morning. We're having a short break, but when we get back, more conversation is going to tie around Ebola, the Ebola response. So stay tuned for that one, and save the number 0709602592. It's a number for you to WhatsApp and ask all the questions necessary as we collectively fight against Ebola, as Uganda has only registered 8 cases since 2000 up to now, 2020-26. It shows that we've had the condition under control and we can still collectively have it under control. For now, let's have a short break. We'll be right back in just a bit. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Ekolera mali abogera know what Uganda needs. When General Caleb Akantwanaho retired, Salim Saleh presented his long, detailed analysis of Uganda's economy and structured recommendations for improvement in the form of the Third National Development Plan, NDP-3, to President Museveni. He laid out the kinds of problems that many Ugandans feel every day, but rarely see captured in one place. He was doing what he has done for years, breaking down the problems holding back ordinary Ugandans. He talked about distortions in factors of production, such as land conflicts that choke investment, the high cost of finance for ordinary people, the shortage of skills among youth, the slow pace of value addition, and the gap between production in the villages and the factories in industrial parks. It was the kind of diagnosis a technocrat offers when trying to get a country unstuck. The president's reply was striking in its simplicity. I know what Uganda needs. At first, to others, it might have sounded almost dismissive. But when placed in the context of 40 years of state rebuilding, economic reform, and political stability, it revealed something deeper. A belief that Uganda's path to transformation has been consistent, deliberate, and informed by lived experience rather than theory. His confidence is not based on guesswork. It's based on the journey already traveled. He always stresses that any serious revolutionary discussion about the economy of Uganda, or indeed much of Africa, should include the following questions. 1. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1900, at the dawn of colonialism? 2. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1962, at the sunset of colonialism? 3. How and what was the magnitude of the collapse of the Ugandan economy between 1971 and 1986? Idi Amin, Obote II, Okello. 4. What, therefore, was the economy of Uganda like in 1986? 5. What is the Ugandan economy like today, and why?
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archived stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza Commissioner. Pick of the day on UBC.
He expected me to die like within the past 2 years. Out of the blue, the child will get pains, especially in the wrists. And this happens commonly when children are starting to walk.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Juko. Yo. Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the Parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. We want to should do? Just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Testing services now extended closer to communities. Do Ugandans feel safer and more prepared for outbreaks? That is your opinion to share. What do you think? That is at UBC TV Uganda, and the hashtag is UBCJMU. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 0709 602 592. Good morning, Uganda. It's time for the real. And indeed, we're looking at the Ebola response and the fact that government has decentralized testing facilities. But the question for you to share your opinion on is that very one. In your perspective, with Ebola testing services now extended closer to communities, do Ugandans feel safer and more prepared for the outbreak? Now about 127 contacts before I even give you the statistics, there is that document by the President of Uganda which reads, "Fellow Ugandans, especially the Abazukulu, greetings. After consultations with the National Epidemic Response Task Force and religious leaders, we have decided to postpone the Martyrs' Day to a later date, which will be communicated. This decision was made because Uganda receives thousands of pilgrims annually from Eastern Congo, which is currently experiencing an Ebola outbreak. To safeguard everyone's lives, it is essential that this important event be postponed. I encourage those who had begun their journey to return home, continue observing the precautionary measures, report anyone who is sick, and encourage those who are ill to seek medical care. We regret any inconvenience caused, but the protection of life must come first." Signed, Yoweri Museveni, President of Uganda. And that is some of the results that are coming out of the outbreak of Ebola here on the eastern side of Africa. And looking at some of the statistics, 127 contacts so far noted and under monitoring, not yet confirmed, but are under monitoring. But in Congo, of course, the cases continue to rise with more than 528 cases suspected on there. And on Sunday, the World Health Organization declared a public health emergency of international concern regarding the Ebola outbreak. It's not yet a pandemic, but highly has the potential to become a pandemic. Be part of the conversation once again, 0709 602 592. My name is Julie F. Nantaba, and I am with Robert Chirabo Nyonyi Ntono this morning alongside you on the other side. Now, Robert, what does decentralizing Ebola testing kits mean for ordinary Ugandans?
Now, first, we must say there is no need for fear. However, there is need to be very active or proactive. Vigilant, if I may use that word. Because we are dealing with a strain, according to health experts, that is very complicated. We have had Ebola Sudan.
Right.
We've had Ebola Zaire. Now, this Bundibujo strain is very different from the two. That's why as we speak there is no vaccine for it and neither confirmed treatment. Because genetically It's slightly different from these other two. Now, that is the threat. But the good news is, it's not the first time Uganda is experiencing this specific virus, Ebola bundibujo. In 2007, we had an outbreak. I registered about 131 cases. 2007. By 2008, we were done. We had fought successfully. Actually, this is the third time. So we've been there before. We've managed. We've not lost the war, nor the battle.
And only 8 deaths recorded since 2000, between 2000 and now.
And now.
Only
so what does that mean? That Uganda has systems. We've built systems over the years. That if we bring those systems back, we are able to fight Ebola. It's not a threat. That's why Uganda Tourism Board even issued a statement, if you can find it out there, clearly stating that Uganda is safe. This we have been there. Now you asked, what does decentralization mean? Now usually when you have these outbreaks, testing is at national level. That when someone is suspected, you have to go to a referral, or sometimes they bring the samples to Mulago, all that. But now at regional hospitals, regional health facilities have the capacity. So that is what has happened. That instead of you having to travel so far so that this can be done, now it has been brought closer to you. What does that mean as far as fighting such a disease? Because World Health Organization said yes, it's a public health emergency. But at this point, it's not a what?
Not yet a pandemic.
A pandemic. So, what does it mean? That in fighting such diseases, quick response is the best bullet. Why do I say quick response? That when someone is suspected, you move in very fast. Take that person to a nearest health facility with experts already there. Get the contacts very fast. Test them. In case there are those that are positive of that virus, put them on treatment very fast. That's how you fight such diseases.
Right.
And government of Uganda decentralizing testing services is moving fast, because Ebola is person-to-person transmission. Yes, we know that. So some have said bats, some have said eating monkeys, but then at this stage we are in, we are not afraid of the animals, the bats. We are person-to-person spread. Now, if you move fast, say if you've registered maybe 2 cases, Uganda, and quickly act and get all the contacts of those 2 cases, test them. Those that have not gotten the virus, let them go back. In case there are those among the contacts that have gotten, put them on treatment, but also look for who their contacts were. At the end of the day, you zero down to the virus.
Right. Now, yesterday we also got to see the districts that are at a high risk. And quite a number of districts were mentioned, especially at borders. So if you look at Western Uganda, the likes of KCCA, Fort Porto, Bundibujo, Bunyagabu, not Kisoro, but I think Kisoro too was there because it's ideally close to the border. Many were mentioned, and one would wonder, do you think it's time to have a mini lockdown of these districts before they get into the central hubs where there's a population density?
Now, I don't think it's time. That's why I want to reiterate what I said earlier, that you see, when you first detect and move swiftly, you've contained the disease. And if you can do that effectively, you wouldn't need to have this cordoning off of districts and all that. No, because you know, okay, we've detected. If you have a good surveillance system on ground, that now you know high risk areas or districts, have a surveillance system that any time someone is suspected, that person can be picked very fast, taken to a testing center. If found positive, remain there. Come and pick his contact persons, the people he was in contact with, test them. If they are negative, let them return to communities. You can fight it, and that has been the strength of Uganda. Quick, timely response. So you're not going to say, let's cut off this district, let's have restrictions in this district. And we know that we can test. We know the symptoms. That if someone complains of a headache, then has a fever, then has fatigue, you feel tired, Julie. Right. If you know, then talks of muscle pain, joint pain. Then as you're still there with this person, he begins diureting. From diureting, what happens? You see bleeding. We may not conclusively say it is Ebola, Bundibujo, without testing that person. But those are the signs. Now, we know very well that the first sign is high temperature. And you've been seeing temperature guns being held and testing people, screening them. If you can have these measures like the temperature guns in place, that you can test someone, if your temperature is extremely high, we first put you aside, go and do the testing to confirm do you have Ebola. So we do not need this at this time. That's why even the World Health Organization said no need to fear. If we follow the SOPs, that is a word well known to very many Ugandans, COVID taught us, SOPs. If we bring them back, you know, social distancing, avoid crowded places, unless you must be there. That's why His Excellency, and I want to credit him, the visionary leader of Uganda, a man who has led Uganda to victory over various pandemics, epidemics, and all that, came out and moved swiftly. I said quick action, and said, Namugongo, we cannot, because we shall have so many people together. So people coming from Congo will come here as pilgrims, people coming from wherever they will come from, and a huge gathering. Now that 1 day or two, if you had one person who is Ebola, who has contracted Ebola, he can spread to so many people. And the burden of tracing the contacts and then again the people they contacted, you can have a huge outbreak because of 1 day event.
Just to reiterate the question for you, with Ebola testing services now extended closer to communities, do you think, or do Ugandans feel safer and more prepared for outbreak? As a Ugandan, do you feel safer or more prepared for outbreaks? The hashtag is UBCGMU on X, at UBCTV Uganda, but you can also send a WhatsApp message to 0709 602592. Now, Robert, you did talk about a letter from the Uganda Tourism Board that was encouraging business to continue. Indeed, I know even Powate is supposed to be taking place within this season, and the letter indeed reads that Uganda Tourism Board wishes to reassure travelers and tourism partners and the international community following recent media reports regarding Ebola cases linked to the Democratic Republic of Congo that Uganda has registered 2 isolated imported Ebola cases involving Congolese nationals who entered Uganda from the DRC. One patient sadly passed away and has since been repatriated, while the second patient is currently receiving treatment under the supervision of the Ministry of Health. Importantly, there is currently 0 local transmission or community infection within Uganda. The Uganda Ministry of Health continues to maintain robust surveillance, screening, contact tracing, and rapid response systems nationwide. Uganda is internationally recognized for its experience in managing Ebola outbreaks and other epidemics. tourism activities, national parks, hotels, conference venues and transport services continue to operate normally. Visitors and tourism practitioners are encouraged to observe standard hygiene practices, including regular washing of hands and using of sanitizer, while enjoying Uganda's diverse tourism experiences. And Uganda remains safe, open and welcoming for tourism, business and investment. Life continues normally. Signed, Juliana Kagwa, the Chief Executive Officer. What do you think is the status on ground regarding this? Because whilst indeed it's encouraging and it calms the situation to know that everything is being monitored, but what do you think would now happen to those who are planning to come to Uganda? Do you think they would actually respond, or they would be scared because of the strict regulations that have been put now on from countries like the US?
Well, first you must understand, and in that later they talked of, one, the history of Uganda, that we fought this, but two, the fact that there is no local infection. In Uganda, we do not have Ebola. What we had, Congolese, they imported into Uganda. Now, the good thing is, when even ministry moved and traced these contacts, you've not been told of any who contracted Ebola. Now, we would be safe to say we do not have Ebola in Uganda. What we have are records because someone died in Uganda, and the body was taken back to Congo, and what we have is another who is undergoing treatment, who is from Congo. Now, for travelers, one, Uganda has had rapid response systems that you don't have to worry when it comes to fighting such diseases. We are very good at contact tracing. We are very good as a country, why you shouldn't get scared to come to Uganda, as far as observing SOPs when you have such outbreaks in this country. And that letter clearly states what Uganda, there is a paragraph that talks about what Uganda is doing and has been doing to ensure that we do not have Ebola spread. And I am not an expert when it comes to health issues, but I want to say, because I'm not a medic, but over time, using my journalistic or journalism experience, if there is any country in the world that has been able to fight such diseases of this nature, you would credit Uganda and wouldn't miss on the top 3. So I'm very certain we have what it takes to contain the disease. We have what it takes to respond to any outbreak, should it to any case. So we can contain, we can respond to, and by the way, also for these diseases, our recovery rates have been very high. I'll take you back when we had 131 cases. But how many of the 131 died? Not even 5. So also our recovery rates, when such cases are detected, we do very good. COVID-19, how many cases did we get as a country? But how many deaths did we register?
With Ebola testing services now extended closer to communities, do Ugandans feel safer and more prepared for outbreaks? As a Ugandan, do you feel safer and even more prepared for outbreaks? Lucas here from Dokolo says, I'm a parent and I'm hearing that school will be closed. Is this true? Well, we do not have official information yet.
I can respond to him.
But,
well, what we have is the Ministry of Education and Sports sent guidelines to schools on how they should go about this situation. But nothing as closure that is official. So prepare your children, prepare your pupils, your students to go back to school on the scheduled dates, which is beginning next week.
Hi, good morning. To me, I think that as per prevention is concerned and that schools are resuming, the government should advise the school personnel to a service standard operating procedures. Now, and also what...
Well, a document was out, and schools, if you haven't yet accessed this, check in the dailies. If you haven't accessed this, go to the Ministry of Education and Sports, just not far from us here, and get the guidelines. But they're not so much different from what we did during the COVID-19 when we finally opened, gradually opening.
Right.
Yes.
And also, what if the symptoms resemble but not really Ebola? For example, malaria, I'm put under detention before checkup. It's me, Agaba Shabazi, in Mbarara. And I think if you have the symptoms, you just have to comply until it's proven that you do not have Ebola, and then something another is treated. But for as long as the symptoms exhibit, you just have to comply with the health authorities.
And no one is put under quarantine without testing if they are positive or not, unless when they are waiting for the gestation period.
Yes.
You've been a contact person, now they have to have you and look at the gestation period of Ebola, when these symptoms can come out so you do the testing. But government doesn't want to spend on someone who is, it would be funny, foolhardy. So the government has no interest in you when you're not Ebola positive to have you. That's why they will test. Yes.
Now we bring this conversation to a close, but I think what Agaba's submission reminds me of, it reminds me of once upon a time during the COVID season. Washing hands was something that was pushed down our throats as a habit. First and foremost, it shouldn't even be pushed down our throats. But because out of character, not many people want to wash their hands, it had to be an emphasis.
Many wash after a meal.
True story. But I'm reminded of an experience I got to witness. At that point during that season, every public place of entry had a water can. Every office had a water can at the entries.
Or sanitizer.
So I'm at this building and I'm preparing to enter, but I had to first wash my hands. And as I'm washing, a man smartly dressed, looks like a gentleman, comes straight at me and puts his hands above mine just to have a bit of water spilling and then enter. So it was really a bewilderment when I experienced it. I thought to myself, wow, what a wow. But what does that speak into? That even as the government is doing everything possible to fight these things, as people, character is enough to help us. Just character.
Well,
you do not
I just want to help Ugandans that have not understood the magnitude of this. That when you act foolish in this time, it will be you to contract the disease. You know, sometimes we have to tell Ugandans truth. It will be you, and when you contract Ebola, you go back to your family, and some may not survive.
Right.
So if there are SOPs put in place, it's not a time for you to wiseacre to show how you know it's a time to fight for your life and your loved ones. When you die, the wise will stay and enjoy the world full of milk and honey, but you will be gone. We lost people to COVID-19. Did the world continue?
6 years, 7 years.
So as you think right, not observing these SOPs or what government has put in place, at the end of the day, it will catch up with you.
Surely, indeed. We'll bring this conversation to a close. We do have a lot in store, so stay tuned as more conversations that are edifying and above all else with the goal to inspire you as a Ugandan do continue on. It's Good Morning Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned or what we have stopped is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza Commissioner.
In a nation hungry for truth, a world where every story matters, there exists a beacon of trust and reliability. For decades, they've been our voice and our window to the world, holding the mirror of our history. With 4 TV stations and 11 radio channels spanning 27 languages, they stand as guardians of information, defenders of truth. With Mascari Heritage Advantage, they uphold every citizen's right to reliable and free information. Their archive stories shaped our past and illuminate our present. Yet now, as new challenges arise and the world evolves, their mission faces its greatest test yet. Be part of our journey and let's navigate the unknown, uncover the untold, and safeguard our future together. Tune into your public broadcaster, for it is the intersection of trust and truth. Because to UBC, your story, and every voice matters. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Juko. Yo. What you go? Check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Uganda, haven't you heard of the Parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, Sebatia. It is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a portrait project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better.
PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
know what Uganda needs. When General Caleb Akantwanaho retired, Salim Saleh presented his long, detailed analysis of Uganda's economy and structured recommendations for improvement in the form of the Third National Development Plan, NDP-3, to President Museveni. He laid out the kinds of problems that many Ugandans feel every day, but rarely see captured in one place. He was doing what he has done for years, breaking down the problems holding back ordinary Ugandans. He talked about distortions in factors of production, such as land conflicts that choke investment, the high cost of finance for ordinary people, the shortage of skills among youth, the slow pace of value addition, and the gap between production in the villages and the factories in industrial parks. It was the kind of diagnosis a technocrat offers when trying to get a country unstuck. The president's reply was striking in its simplicity. I know what Uganda needs. At first, to others, it might have sounded almost dismissive. But when placed in the context of 40 years of state rebuilding, economic reform, and political stability, it revealed something deeper. A belief that Uganda's path to transformation has been consistent, deliberate, and informed by lived experience rather than theory. His confidence is not based on guesswork. It's based on the journey already traveled. He always stresses that any serious revolutionary discussion about the economy of Uganda, or indeed much of Africa, should include the following questions. 1. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1900, at the dawn of colonialism? 2. What was the economy of Uganda like in 1962, at the sunset of colonialism? 3. How and what was the magnitude of the collapse of the Ugandan economy between 1971 and 1986? Idi Amin, Obote II, Okello. 4. What, therefore, was the economy of Uganda like in 1986? 5. What is the Ugandan economy like today, and why?
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
World Rhino Day, and as the Uganda Wildlife Authority, we are proud and privileged to have celebrated the day by naming and saving the rhinos. We are here at Zua Rhino Sanctuary, naming for the sake of saving rhinos in Uganda. In the 80s, rhinos got extinct, and the government of Uganda, working with various partners and stakeholders, brought back rhinos. 6 of them here at the rhino sanctuary in Nakasongola, and they have been able to multiply from 6 to 48. Now, the carrying capacity at Zua has become small, it has been reduced, and we must get these rhinos and take them back to the wild, where they can be seen as a tourism product from the wild. So today, we have been giving names. I want to thank all the partners, the individuals, the partners who have named the rhinos, who have friended the rhinos. We are now carrying out genetic studies, determining the parentage and the genetic tree of those rhinos that we are going to take. We are going to take 20 rhinos from Zua Rhino Sanctuary to Ajai Wildlife Reserve. And the 28 will remain here and remain a tourism product flourishing in this area. After Ajai, we are also going to put 100 rhinos in Chidepo, but not out of this. We are working with partners. We are going to import them from out of the country. We are also going to go to Murchison Falls National Park and also introduce rhinos there. And the purpose is to diversify the product, the conservation product, which in the long run works as a tourism product, so that as many more tourists can come and visit our country. Because when they come, then they bring us foreign exchange, which supports the growth of the economy, which supports the balance of payment, which creates jobs. Because every tourist who comes here brings money, which is able to pay. Because tourism alone is forming over 800,000 jobs. And so when you support tourism, you have supported a fellow Ugandan, you have supported the Ugandan to get a job. So I call upon all of you to support conservation, to support tourism, so that we can grow our country together.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Welcome to Business Now. A delegation of Australian travel professionals, tourism marketeers and media representatives are undertaking a 10-day familiarization tour across Uganda aimed at promoting the country within Australia. Organized by the Uganda High Commission alongside tourism stakeholders, the team has visited windy and community tourism initiatives in southwestern Uganda.
Head of Tourism at the Uganda High Commission in Canberra, Tisa Susan Mugwanya, says Uganda is positioning itself as a destination of authentic and emotionally immersive travel experience, targeting the Australian market.
Say that we are excited to host Australians to Uganda, and they've experienced the very best of Uganda's tourism. They've both experienced the biodiverse and the natural beauty of the country. As many African countries say that they're proud of their big 5, Uganda is proud of the big 8. The primates and the big 5. And that's what makes Uganda have the very best of whatever it has to showcase in the field of tourism.
The Australian delegates also explored conservation projects, wildlife experiences and community tourism initiatives in southwestern Uganda, with officials expecting the tour to strengthen Uganda's international tourism visibility through media exposure and travel partnerships.
It was the most incredible experience. I'm so grateful that I got to come on this trip because it's so rare that you get to experience something like this. So yeah, I'm very excited I did it. And I'm going to tell everyone back home to come and do it. It's just, yeah, a bucket list item that I can finally tick off.
I'm Thomas and I'm from Travel Corporation, staying at the Nikaringo Gorilla Lodge, and we just went and saw the Nikaringo tribe family of gorillas, and I've done a lot of travelling, been in the industry for over 30 years, and that's right up there with one of my most cherished experiences, because we were arm's length, or probably legally 5 meters away from silverback and the mother and baby gorillas. The guidance was exceptional, the porters were so good. It's wonderful to know those funds go back into the community as well. So we would highly recommend for all of our Australia, New Zealand guests back home that are thinking about doing something a little bit unique and different. You can't beat Uganda, you can't beat right.
Tourism officials said the familiarization tour is expected to strengthen Uganda's presence within the Australian travel market for storytelling, tourism partnerships and destination promotion targeting high-value international travelers. I'm Bart Machawe Semambo, reporting for UBC.
Moving on, Roots and Root Festival was launched in Kampala with a 3-day edition set for Tororo starting on the 29th of October. Positioning culture as a tourism investment product, TIO Tours and Travels CEO and founder Timothy Ocheng, giving his keynote address, said Uganda artists are now export assets, driving destination branding and visitor demand. The launch attracted creatives and the Tororo Kingdom Tourism Ambassador, underscoring heritage tourism as a milestone growing in Uganda in the tourism sector. Let's take a look at this.
Celebrate culture, celebrate music, celebrate culture. Kids are watching South Korean content. Why? Because those guys were intentional, so you have all these short films, the music, K-pop is literally taken over. They were intentional as government, private sector, to get together and say, let's use our culture. And we have that opportunity. And the exciting thing is, I believe that the government has kind of started to get it. We have to make a lot of noise.
We want to test the total delicacies. We want to test the local cuisine. So we want to make everything about culture music tourism. So during the course of the time shall be bringing up the different acts that are going to be in place. We expect to have, of course, which is around here, so many other acts are going to be on board. So we want to balance how do we keep the different people entertained. Remember,
this festival is happening in Fort Portal, Lake Saka Recreation Center in the tourism city, and the tourism city is enjoying much more experience. And the reason why we chose Fort Portal, because it is having a lot of attraction and experiences, whereby you have to experience national parks, forests, natural crater lakes, culture, the Toro people, the local cuisines, and more. We are trying to blend culture, music, and tourism all in one. The festival is happening on 29th till 31st of October 2026.
For the younger generation likes vibrant music. And when they start speaking of a culture something backward, that's because usually then the days there would be like storytelling, like your grandparents are the ones telling you the story, and you are being slow. So growing up, we're having all this vibrant music here, there, and they're like, oh no, this is not working for us.
And I think, and the only city you can compare that with, you can compare New York with Hudson City or London with the Thames. We are so grateful that we are now renovating our tombs. So really, and so many other natural things you had just Timothy have talked about.
And now we look at Lakeside Dairies. Producers of dairy top products have introduced a 100-gram yogurt cup targeting young and school-going children who may not afford larger packs. The new product is expected to increase milk consumption among children while improving their immunity and nutrition for better learning.
We are having various types of sizes.
Lakeside Dairies has commissioned a new 100-gram dairy top yogurt cup as part of efforts to make processed milk products affordable and accessible to more consumers. The company has been producing yogurt in similar quantities using sachets, but increasing customer demand for cup packaging prompted the introduction of the new product.
We are having various types of sizes. We range from 400 grams, we have 250, we have 200, we have 100. So that variation of sizes, it was done in order that everyone can be able to afford to buy or to drink yogurt. Because if one fails to obtain money for a 400 sacket, he or she cannot fail to obtain money for a 100-gram sacket. So that one means that everyone, with regard to one's income, everyone is able to take yogurt.
Sydney Mark Wamala, the quality assurance manager at Lakeside Dairy, says the yogurt cup will retail at 600 shillings, making it affordable for school-going children and low-income families.
So in the same variety that everyone is able to take milk, not only the rich, but also the low-income personnel can still take milk.
Wamala says the product will help improve children's immunity and contribute to the fight against malnutrition and stunting.
So the benefits that one can get, for example, children, because they have a low immunity, so the yogurt, for example, it can help in the boosting of the immunity of the child, help in the boosting of the brain of the child, help in the boosting of the health of the child, with regard to the bones and with regard to the total nutrients within the body.
He adds that the yogurt cups are already available at distribution points in Katete, Isenjiro, Koranolia, Sanga, Liantonde and Mile 4 along the Mbarara-Bushenyi Road at the same factory price.
So it's a booster in the health of a child and also for a person who's older than. So it tastes for everyone, either young or old. So it's a booster. It's a good booster of health in general.
For UBC News, I am Sudat Kaye.
Well, thank you, Sudat Kaye. And that story brings us to the end of our business stories. Next is the Good Morning Uganda agenda, and Julie will be here. Keep it with us.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
He expected me to die like within the past 2 years. Out of the blue,
the child will get pains, especially in the wrists. And this happens commonly when children are starting to walk.
Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Booza Commissioner. Juko. Yo.
What you check the shopping, man. What's your secret?
Haven't you heard of the Parish development model PDM?
Yes, I did, but I thought it was just a talk.
No, it is real. I and a few friends together formed a circle, accessed money from the PDM, invested in a poultry project, and now things are moving.
Juko. I thought I was one of your friends.
You are.
But you left me behind.
I didn't leave you in poverty. What you do, just visit your LC2 chairperson and your parish chief and start the process of economic transformation. Just like that. The parish development model is an initiative from the government of Uganda through the Ministry of Local Government designed to transform all lives of Ugandans for the better. PDM, my parish, my development, my life.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.